Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to use the breakout strategy to trade the forex market. The breakout strategy is one of the strategies that helps you to catch long pips and long candlestick when the market breaks out. All right. So I'm going to be following 6 steps. Is this 6 steps? No, I'm going to be giving you 6 things to watch out for before you can actually confirm this strategy. So I'm going to be mentioning them one by one, and I'm also going to be showing you in the market how to detect them. Now, these are the things you must watch out for in order to confirm the breakout strategy. This is one of the best videos you will ever watch on the forex trading market. So please kindly help me subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I will appreciate. Now, please kindly drop me your comment section how the videos you have been watching, how are they, and all of that. It helps in boosting the algorithm to forward my videos. All right, thank you so much. Now let's return. Before I go into the chart and then teach you how to spot the breakout strategy using these 6 things that I already put in place for you, please let's go back and reflect. What is breakout strategy? Breakout is like the market breaking out from your zone. Let's say you discover a market ranging in, let's say the market is ranging, or the market is an uptrend, or the market is retesting, and then there's a breakout that makes the market leave that zone or maybe continue in that zone. That is breakout. Breakout is when the market leaves a particular zone and is going a particular direction, or when the market continues in a particular direction with a strong momentum. That's what breakout means. Either it breaks up or it breaks down. Of course, remember that forex is either buying when the market is going up, or you either sell when the market is coming down. So the breakout strategy happens for the both. So let's go into the chart, and then I'm going to show you simply that. Now on my chart, you can see that we are on Euro USD and we are 15 minutes time frame. Now the 15 minutes time frame is also the time frame is also very important, and I always put it as the 15 minutes time frame because me personally, I take my trades at the 15-minute time frame. And let me advise, please do not go below 15-minute time frame because you won't actually know the exact thing happening in the market. So 15-minute time frame is good. Right, so this is the 15-minute time frame on Euro USD, and then the very first thing when you are trading the breakout strategy is please discover trend lines. Discover trend lines in the current market. All right, so let's pick out our tool, and then we are going to discover trend lines. And then how do you discover trend lines? By now you should be able to know how to discover the trend line. Trend lines is when the market touches at least 3 confluence. When it has 3 confluence, all right, 3, it touches the trend, the line you drew, at least 3 places. Of course, remember that is the wick that is touching that particular line. So we have that our market touches this area here, this is 0.1, and then this area here, this is 1 again, and then we will have to wait for another confirmation, another touch here. Now if there's another touch here, the next thing is to wait for a breakout. There are other things to look out for, but trend line is just one of them. Now remember that it may touches more than 3 times, but 3 times is the average, the confirmation that this thing is a trend line. All right, so of course if I drew it like this, you notice that the market is in an uptrend. All right, that is how it is like this. Now here I want you to draw it only one, because we are, if from the first class when we're talking about technical analysis, we actually draw a trend line where we draw a trend line for both, you know, when it's going up like this. All right, for the breakout strategies, we are only interested in only one, and that is because we are trying to discover a breakout to go up. All right, so you can draw it up like this. All right, you can draw the 2 of them if you are looking for a sell, or you can draw, you can draw this one here if you are looking for a sell, or you can draw this one here if you are looking for a buy. For now, we are just experimenting with the buy, so we want to delete this for now. We'll come back to it. So this here, if I just increase it, you can see that we only have 2 touches here, which is this one and this one. So we are currently waiting for another breakout to be exactly here. All right, so apart from this one, let me draw another trend line, and then you see what it means. So let me pick here and see how the market behaves in this, when the market was in this angle, and then you can see here, you can see that the market is here. Now on this particular angle, you can see that the market touches at this point, it also touches at this point. Let me draw it properly. it also, sorry, let me not force the line. All right, so it touches at this point, and then we see that the market touches at this point, and then of course it touches at this point. Now this is the first thing to discover, trend line. All right, after this I will now show you what next happened here. Now the second thing that happened here that you need to discover is the candlestick pattern. The candlestick pattern. Now remember that, of course, I've been saying this thing that Forex is interchanging. All right, all the topics are interchanging. You may not use one, you may use one, but you may combine one or two of them. So we are going to be combining a lot of strategy here to discover the breakout. So the first thing is the trend line which we have drawn, and the second thing is the momentum. The candlestick pattern. Now if you check at this point where market breaks out, of course if you know this thing see this thing very well, you see that market breaks out at this point. Now when the market touches 3 points here, at this point was the third one, the next thing that happened was that we have a momentum candle. And the momentum candle, of course, I said momentum candle is a very strong candle that is either going in the upside or is going the downside. And also the candlestick pattern, one of the best momentum candle we also have is what we call multiple candles, when you see 3 candles that are very strong in the same direction, even if they are not strong, but you see they're happening the same time in the market. All right, those are the 2 basic momentum candles that we have, one that is strong, and then when we have multiple of them that are strong, that are small. All right, so if you check here, we see that even this candle, if I zoom it out, you will see that at least it was a big strong. But apart from the fact that this candle was strong, this was the candle that was strong, but this market was never in the trend line yet. So this one was the one that was in the trend line, and after this we have another candlestick 3, which is this one here, this one here, and this one here, forming the momentum. This shows clearly that the market was supposed to continue in that direction. So and that means it's going to be a breakout. So if you have seen the market touch here, and then you see this one, you see this one, maybe you may not have taken the trade. Okay, let me just bring in something. Let me bring in this. So if maybe you didn't take the trade at this point here, maybe you wait for, let's say, this candle here and this candle here. Of course, it was very clear that if the 3 candle had formed, you will have just taken your trade here, your trade here. Although the next candle that formed after the 3 candles was a red candle, but it was really a confirmation that it was going to continue in the same direction, because the push from here to here was actually very strong. But if you were wise in this market, you will notice that after the 3 touch here, and then this one here is also good. The second one was also showing blue. Yes, green. You can also take the trade from this angle. So you can see that when you combine these strategies I'm actually teaching, they will actually help you to know that the market is actually breaking out from the current trend. Remember that the market in this trend was sell. All right, so the breakout is now breaking out from the sell to the upside. All right, now let's forget about let me delete this one for now, and then I will come back to it so that it will not confuse us. Now let's check this point where the trend ends. Now if you have even seen this trend very well, you will discover that there were some candlestick patterns here. We have the doji here, we have the engulfing candle here, we still have a doji here with a small push here. This alone shows a confirmation that there was supposed to be a rise, because we have the doji at the bottom of the trend. Of course, you can see at the bottom of the trend, and then we have an engulfing candles here, as we're showing you that this market was supposed to be good. So if you keep analyzing like this, the trade is also actually going to go in your direction. So the breakout from here, we just use the trend line, and then of course we use the candlestick pattern that you need to know. Now the candlestick pattern, the candlestick patterns are very good only when you know them. Now if you don't know that this candlestick that happens here with momentum candle, you won't know how to take the trade. So you have to revisit our videos back, and then take those courses, take these videos one by one again. Try as many times as possible. It sticks. The more you go with them, the more it sticks with you. All right, so now let's continue. Now the next thing we need to check out for here is support and resistance. Now support and resistance becomes like, it's just like my own basic strategy that you should not do without. Even if you are using any strategy, you can't do without support and resistance. That's to me. All right, so support and resistance is also good in when we are talking about breakout. Right, so you have to as well draw your support and resistance. So let's say we draw our support and resistance here. Of course, you see that price is ranging here. What is support and resistance? Support is and resistance is where price tends to be returning, or where the price is rejecting candlesticks oftentimes. All right, so if you can check here, you can see that the price rejects here by leaving wicks. It leaves wicks. All right, so you can see here that here is kind of a support here, and then if we draw another one, you can see that we still have one like someone here. All right, you can see them here, for example here, and then if you draw another one, you can see that we have another one up here. If you just check, you see that price tends to be retesting at this area. All right, price retains almost at this area. So if, for example, we have taken this trade here, right, our stop loss will have been in the nearest this thing. Don't go a lot of pips, right? So don't go a lot of pips. So just where the price tends to retest back, all right, close to the support and resistance. Of course, you know that if you want to draw another support here, it will also go. So there's a support inside of this. So because price retests a lot in here, so we just put our stop loss close here, and then our take profit will be long. Now let me say this here, that when price breakout, there's going to be a long movement. In fact, the least pips that you can cash in a breakout is 100 pips. All right, so you can actually draw up to 100 pips and you can actually cash them. All right, so you can see that here we can draw it, we can draw it up and then get to at least 100 pips. All right, so of course you know that if you use this, it calculates the pips directly for you. So you can see that price may come, and then of course you can see that it will go to this area. It may do a lot of retests, but it will get to this area. That brings us to the fourth thing that we need to discover when we are trading breakout. You need to discover that sometimes price will not go direct. Sometimes price retest a lot before it actually follow that direction. So it retests, but it's still in the same direction it retests. Price does movement. It doesn't go just one candle, just keep going one candle, it join the up. No. Price retest a lot. So don't be afraid of the retest. So you know that because when it's retesting, for example, if the price was here and it start retesting to this area, from here to here, the money will be lost in. All right. So sometimes your mind will be doing boom boom. But when you know the strategy and you are sure of the strategy, just keep in mind. So of course you can see that the price came here, come here again, retest back to the line, come here again, retest back to the line, and here it was about breaking this line from there. And then here I'm having a full conviction that the price is only doing a retest. So a retest is something like going from here to here, and maybe coming from here. Let me draw it properly. A retest is something like, let me pick this thing, going from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. You see the retest is hitting the support line and coming back, and who knows, this price can break out from here and still go back to the same direction. This is how price retest. So you have to be waiting for this retest. All right, and when you are when you are also trying to cash a breakout, you can also spot a retest. All right, from this point here, you see that, let me pick it here again. From this point here, you see that price comes from here to here, and it comes from here to here, and it comes from here to here, and it was about coming to this particular point. You can see that from here it now breakout. So the retest happen a lot of times before it now breakout. So retest is the fourth thing that you must discover in the forex market. It's actually very, very good. All right, so don't be afraid of retest. Retest is just showing you that the buyers and sellers are struggling, to make a push in the market. So you don't have anything to fear. You just have to know that when you predict the price and you know that this will work for you, you keep with it. So if you check this market, I'm very certain that this market will actually go up. All right, so of course, number one, I said is trend lines. Number two, I said is support and resistance. And then number three is retest. And then number four is the candlestick patterns. All right, so just watch out for this thing. Now, number five of what you need to look out for in order to trade the breakout strategy is what we call chart patterns. I have actually not created that video, but I'll create that video in the next 2 days. So check on this channel, you'll actually see the video. Now, chart patterns is, we have different structures that the market forms, the candlestick forms, the price forms. All right, like we have the double top, the double bottom. We have some structures I'm going to show you in the next video. Now you are also going to spot those patterns in this chart so that you can be able to actually detect. Now let's spot it here and see, but before we do that, let me delete this so it will not be boring for us. So if I pick this pattern, and then I come here, I can see a particular pattern here. Okay, let me just start the trade from here to here, 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 from here to here. Of course, you know what I'm doing already, from here to here, and then we have it here. Now let's look at this. If you look at this, you will see that we have a lot of chart patterns here. Anyway, let me just delete it. The reason why I'm deleting is because I've not taught you chart patterns. So you might, even if I just drew this in order to figure out the chart patterns here, you may not just get it. So let me just go straight to the point and teach you the chart patterns that I found here. So let me just delete it. Now if I delete it, I come back here and pick this again. So let me just pick this from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. Now chart patterns are a lot. There are lots. Like I said, we have the double top, we have the double bottom. Now from this point, you will see that we have something like the M shape. The market forms an M shape and it's called the double top. It's called the double top, the M shape. So if you can see here, we see that we have from here to here, the market touches here. From here, it touches at this zone again. And from here, it touches at this zone again. Now, in chart patterns, when market seems to touch at the same area, forming this kind of shape, as it completes the shape, it breaks out. That's just it. As it completes that particular shape, it breaks out. So we also have it as double bottom and all of that. But for now, I'm only want to check the double top, which is the M shape. All right. So if you check that, if from market forms from here, we have to look at this market. Even without this thing I drew here, you will notice that this market here seems to be like an M shape. All right, here at this particular point, it seems to be like an M shape. And where the market break out here, this is where the market completes that shape. And of course, we can see it as demonstrated in this particular thing here. See it from here to here. This looks like an M shape, and when it crosses, it actually here the market actually, of course, normally would have expected the market to, if it was a shape, to form here before it go in a good shape. But here is where we have a small breakout from here, but this breakout was fake. We also have what we call fake breakout. Now, fake breakout is, before you spot fake breakout, you have to understand all these 6 things I'm giving to you, so that if you know your candlestick patterns, if you know your chart patterns, and you always wait for confirmation, and if you wait for confirmation, I did not get the confirmation, even though these things happen, you are going to know that that breakout was fake. Right? So you can see that here we have a small breakout here. Normally you can see that there are a lot of candles form here. So if this shape was to be here like this, sometimes you may just know that this thing is double top. So from this point here, it has hit here and it has started coming down here. Normally you just say, this market will break out from here to the downside. All right, you just see that the market will break out from here. But that's why I always say wait for confirmation of maybe using your candlestick patterns, your support and resistance, and all of that. So, but look at it. The reason why the market could not break out completely is because there is a support line here that shows that the market will test. So there's not going to be a complete breakout. But if that market must have come to somewhere, let's say this line was somewhere here at this point, then there should be a breakout. If this particular shape forms at somewhere here, let me just draw it, somewhere here at this particular level here, let's say this was where it forms at this point here, then if continuously like this thing was supposed to be a strong movement and the breakout would just be much, but it formed close to here where we still have this support and resistance, so it actually retests. And of course you can see that we have an engulfing candle here showing that there was going to be a reverse. So at this point the candlestick here were not determining, they were not multiple candles, they were not a momentum candles, so you have to wait for them to retest. So you can see that this is how to use these things. I just align them in order for you to keep spotting them in the market. All right, so having said that, number 5, now let's go to the last thing that you actually look out for in the forex market. Right, so those are the 6 things that I've actually talked. I talked about support and resistance, the trend line strategy, of course the trend line in order to spot the strategy, and then I talked about retest. I talked about chart patterns and the candlestick patterns, and also wait for confirmation. All right, so that's how to spot the market, and the market is actually coming down here. Now there is a small breakout here, and I'm expecting this price to come here. It won't be too long. It will come here and go. Do you know why? Because this candle, this green candle that pushes this price up here is very strong. In fact, this candle here is stronger than these smaller ones that are forming. So I'm sure that this thing is just a small retest, and there's going to be a complete going up. So this is the Forex, this is the breakout strategy. You can spot them at different markets, especially momentum. Remember also that when you see momentum candles like this going up, it shows that the buyers are strong. So pushing a sell, or sorry, a buy, depending on the direction of the trend, in that direction, and put your take profits in the nearest support and resistance. Sometimes it even breaks that support and resistance a little before even returning back, like you can see somewhere at this zone. So let's go back. You can see that this strategy is good here. So even at this point here, if we draw our support and resistance, you will see our trend line, you see that the reason why market breaks out from here was because it touches at this point, and then this was the third point, and then from here it breaks out. And of course here we have multiple candles, and then it start breaking out. Now remember, again, I keep saying in all my videos that patience is a key in forex trading. You have to exercise patience continuously. So let's go again. You can see from here, see momentum candles, and then this is the support and resistance. At this point here is a support and resistance, and then there was a strong breakout candle here. This small breakout candle confirmed that this chart was going to break out. In trading breakout strategy, you must have to wait for all these confirmations. All right, so candlesticks are very important. You can see, let's look at them. You can see here the strong candles are here and all of that. So if you like this video, please kindly help me subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I'll be glad I make this video for you. Now before we go, let me explain this. Now the market does not happen to you overnight. All right, so all you have to do is keep practicing. Now I recommend you practice with just few pairs. Just let your chart, you just be monitoring like one pair or two pair or three pair. Don't be monitoring a lot of pair. Don't worry, I'm going to teach you a lot of things in psychology of trading. All right, so don't monitor a lot, just be monitoring it. When you monitor one or two, you're going to be discovering a lot of things that happens in the market, in that particular market. You know how the market behaves over time. The market becomes your friend. You know how it behaves. But when you begin to check a lot of other things, it makes no sense. So if you are checking Euro USD, if you want to even check GBP USD, I will do that, but it doesn't make sense because it makes the video long. Now also that this thing we just check here was just for the buy. You can also check it for the sell, like I just showed you in this particular area here. This one was actually a buy because the breakout was to a buy, but there's this one I showed you here that was to a sell. So you can see that there's a breakout strategy here, and what we want in common here is that if I draw my support and resistance at this point, you can see that we have a support here. All right, so, and of course you can see that we have a support and resistance. You can see that we have the candlestick, and then if you check here properly, you may actually see that we have a chart pattern somewhere here, and then of course there's also a retest, and then also a continue. So just know that this is what happened. And of course I said that when a chart there's a breakout, the breakout is always strong, like up to 100 pips. So that's that for today. Please kindly like this video once again. Thank you, and God bless you.